So I was originally going to do Paul Phoenix for episode 2, but then my loyal subscriber Will suggested that I do everybody's favourite British champion boxer, Steve Fox. And to be honest with you, this one was really tough. Steve is a drip king 90% of the time, and organising the top 5 was like trying to pick a favourite child because of just how many great attires that Steve has had. However, we do need to weed through a couple of horrible outfits first, so with that being said, let's jump in and see what the worst Steve Fox attire is. Number 11, Tekken Tag Tournament 2, the blue jacket. Now coming in at last place, this sucks hard. This man is always wearing the coolest civilian clothes, and this is what they decided to make his ult in Tag 2. The bluey grey jacket is really uninspired, and when you compare the grey pants in this attire to pants that he's worn in all of his other civvy outfits, these are just so boring. Also, with the footwear that he's wearing, it's just a basic pair of dress shoes which doesn't really fit Steve at all, considering most of his shoes are incredible. However, I am a man of positivity, so I will say one nice thing about this. The back decal is kind of cool looking. I don't know what it is, but it's kind of cool. Everything else here sucks. Number 10, and we have the Tekken 4 fight gear, and this one is very controversial of myself for putting fight gear so low, because I just absolutely always adore fight gear in these games. But come on, this isn't even 3/4 pants. That is a whole ass pant. These are so dorky looking, and thankfully they never make his boxing attire look this goofy again. They even flunk out on the shoes as well, where in future installments he wears some of the coolest looking boots. He's got these scraggly looking blue sneakers, and Steve is showing me way too much ankle. I don't like it, and we'll be moving on now. Number 9, we have the Tekken 4 civilian outfit. So Steve's debut, they didn't really show him off in the best light visually. Fun fact, as a kid, I hated Steve for 2 reasons. 1, I didn't like his look, and 2, I didn't like the fact that he didn't kick. However, with time, I've gotten a bit smarter, and thankfully Steve has got a bit more of a fashion sense going on. But here, he does not. The red pants are cool though. They'll make a comeback in a few more outfits, but everything else is trash. The brown dress shoes go away, and I hate that he just has his hands taped up instead of like the cool gloves that he would wear later on in civilian outfits. Also, the open button-up shirt is a bit sleazy looking, and it reminds me of Homer in The Simpsons when he's like really fat and he wears that dress. In at number 8, we have Tekken 7 and Tekken 8, the fight attire with the entrance hood, and this is the blue one. I don't have a lot to say about this next entry, but what I will say is that this version of the fight attire would be so much higher if they just removed the entrance jacket. It doesn't make sense for him to be wearing it while he's fighting. It would have been cool if he wore it in like the pre-match animation thing and then took it off. I just don't like him fighting in it. It reminds me of in old WWE games where you'd unlock alternative attires for superstars and it was just them wearing their entrance attire. I hate it. I hate it there, I hate it here. However, the cyan and white colour scheme goes really hard, so there's a plus for this one. In at number 7, we have Tekken 7 and 8 fight attire with entrance hood, however this is the gold variant. So just take everything that I said about the last entry, except now the pants and boots are red and black, and the entrance hood is gold and purple, which is a really cool colour combo, and that is why it's getting the small jump over the blue and white version of this attire. In at number 6, we have the Tekken 8 Default 3 attire. So this is a really cool, unique look for Steve. He hasn't worn anything else quite like this. I'm not the biggest fan of the shoes, but I can live with that because the black jeans are just another addition in the Steve wearing absolute banger pants trend that we have going on here. And the jacket also reminds me of Tiger Saejima from Yakuza, so that's also getting a thumbs up from me as well. This is a neat attire. Alright, we are entering the top 5 now, and in 5th place is going to be Tekken 8 Default 1. This is an amazing look for Steve. The red pants, and they've added the Union Jack to it now, which I feel is really cool addition. The blue jacket is really elegant looking as well, and the boots are the perfect finish to this outfit. I mentioned in the Kazuya video that I don't like a lot of the Tekken 8 designs, but thankfully we are covering another character that they nailed. However, it does get a little better. And it will get better in Entry 4 when Tekken 8 Default 2 makes an appearance. This colour scheme is one of the best I have ever seen. The jacket gets upgraded so much more by just being red, and the white pants, in my opinion, are a lot better than the red ones, and they make the Union Jack pop so much more. We have come very far from that awful Tekken Tag Tournament 2 blue jacket. Number 3, and we're covering the fight attire worn in Tekken 5 and Tekken 6. This is the best version of the standard boxing gear for Steve. The red and blue and white makes him look like a proper British geezer. And the feathers running down the boots are so extra, I love it. That's always been a favourite part of the outfit for me, the little feathers. The gloves are also sick. I love them being that sort of egg yolk shade of yellow. That's one of my favourite colours, so I love that a lot. And the red wrist pieces, that was hard to say, complete the gloves very well. I'm also a big fan of Steve Fox's name being written on the crotch, in case you have forgotten who you are playing as. Number 2, we're going to stay with Tekken 5 and 6, but now it's going to be the civilian outfit. So I honestly think that this could be the best civilian outfit in the entire franchise. But I will probably contradict that in a future video because I tend to forget that things exist unless I'm looking at them. However, this button-up shirt and red pants combo is so fire. I love the blue gloves as well that have the studs on the knuckles. That is really badass. These are also the best shoes that Steve has ever worn as well. They're like these white tux looking shoes. I have a pair that looks very similar. I wish I had the body of Steve, but I don't. But yeah, no, this is a great outfit. I'm a huge fan of everything going on here. And our winner for today at number 1, we have the Tekken 7 alternate attire. So the design of this one is just the exact same as entry number 2. It's the same pants, it's the same shirt, just in a different color, and I adore the color swap more. Fun fact, in Tekken 5 and 6, when you can customize your characters and change the color of the outfits, I would actually just change the shirt to blue, the light blue, and the pants to white anyway. And I only found out that this default exists in 7. So that as soon as I saw it, I went, well, there we go. There is my number 1, because that is what I always used to do in Tekken 5 and Tekken 6, and they've just done it for me automatically in 7. The shoes are the exact same here as well. White tux, which is awesome. Great stuff. I absolutely love this attire, and it is just... It's the last few entries that have proven that when you take away the blue Tekken Tag 2 jacket, which we are never looking at ever again, Steve is one of the biggest drip gods in all of Tekken. So there it is. Thank you so much for watching this Tekken attire ranking video. Down below, please let me know how wrong I am, please let me know how right I am, and feel free to suggest who I should do next. I do have Paul ready to go. I'm going to start doing that soon, but if someone jumps in and wants something else, I will happily serve the people. I am a man of pleasing the masses. So with that all being said, we're going to wrap it up for today. Thank you so much for your time. I have been Satin Black, and I am going to catch you in the next video. Bye bye.